So yeah, let's start from the beginning, like data center again. So data center means nothing but it is a place where we will store all our infrastructure. Infrastructure is a kind of servers, network related components, storages, everything, all the equipment related to IT will store in the a single place called data center. Okay. Based on the your nature of business and wherever you have business, some countries might be having multiple data centers across the globe and across the different regions and countries. Okay, next. Okay, so server is nothing but it is just like our normal computer, laptop or desktop only, but these servers will be having more higher compute power. Compute power in the sense of they'll be having very good processor and very big RAM. Like normally when it comes to our normal laptop or desktop, we'll be using i3 or i5 or i7 Max and AMD Ryzen 3 or Ryzen 5. These kind of processors we'll be using in our day-to-day life. But when it comes to servers, servers will be using high-end processors. Okay, and along with that, when it comes to RAM as well, we'll be using either 4 GB or 8 GB or 12 GB, max 16 GB. I've seen in PCs and all. Okay, but when it comes to server RAM, it will be like 64 GB or 128 GB or 512 GB, 256 GB, like this. This is huge RAM the servers will be having. Okay, and one more thing is the build power of the server is also the build quality of the server is also very high. That is the reason they can run longer times. Uh, Normally, if you run your laptop or desktop for like 1 day or 2 days, they'll start slowing down. They'll start hanging. Okay, but when it comes to server, they can run for years and months without any problem. Okay, because of their build quality and the mechanism what they have used in while manufacturing. Okay, now let's talk about storage. Okay. Before starting a storage, let's discuss about the things how it was before storage. When there was no storage, how the things are. Okay, let's assume that I have a server. Okay, let's assume that this is my server. And when there was no storage, people use only direct hard drives, right? Like this is my server, and I have a hard drive on this server. Okay, this is one hard disk. Let's assume that this server has two hard disks. So what we are going to do, we are going to utilize these two hard disks and configure them as a partitions. Partition means nothing but C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, like that. Okay, and on top of these drives, one drive will install the operating system, the other drives will install the applications, databases, whatever we want to do, our normal user data, whatever we want to do. Okay, this is how it was when there is no storage. Okay, but with this method there were a lot of issues actually. Okay, there were a lot of issues. Let's talk about them. What are the issues? First thing is data loss during the disk failure. Okay, that is the first thing. That means normally if any drive got failed, then whatever the data that we copied in this particular drive, we lose it, right? The data will be not available to us anymore. Okay, that is the biggest challenge. Even server level also we can implement a concept called RAID, protection mechanism called RAID. But when you compare the RAIDs on server with storage, those RAIDs are not that efficient when compared to storage RAIDs. We'll talk about the RAIDs and all separately. Okay, The second thing is, second disadvantage is limitation. Limitation. Limitation in the sense of, for example, right now I have installed two hard drives. Okay. And let's assume that each hard drive size is 1 TB. Okay. 1 TB here and 1 TB here. Now I need more storage. I have used entire 2 TB, okay, both the drives, and now I need more storage. So in order to install another hard disk, you must have slot. If you have slot, then what you can do, you can purchase another drive and you can install it and you can start using it. But if what if you don't have a slot? Okay, so when you are following this method, there is a limitation. You cannot grow it beyond certain limit, certain limitation. Okay, that is the reason. That is another disadvantage. You might be having a limitation somewhere, like 10 drives maybe max, or 20 drives. After that, you'll be not able to install drives anymore on top of your server. Okay. Next thing is performance. So when it comes to performance, when you keep on installing the hard drives to the server, it will degrade the performance. Okay, I don't know that you have tried it or not. When I'm studying BTech, uh, I used to I have a desktop actually. Okay, so normally every desktop or a laptop will come up with only one hard drive and one CD drive space, right? What we can do, we can remove that CD drive, CD whatever the layer, and there also we can connect another hard disk. So when I connected another hard drive, okay, it will impact the performance of my desktop, because whatever the RAM and processor that have managed single hard drive so far, they have to manage two hard drives now. And whatever the RAM and the processor that managed 1 TB of space, now they have to manage 2 TB of space, which will put extra burden on the RAM and processor, so that it will impact the performance. Okay, this is the another disadvantage. Next thing is flexibility. Okay, flexibility. So what is flexibility actually? For example, here I need a 100 GB of space. That's it. I don't need this 1 TB and all. Okay, I need just a 100 GB, or I need just a 50 GB space for this particular server. Can I get a 50 GB hard drive outside? No, right? Or 200 GB hard drives outside? No, right? These hard drives are bound to some fixed sizes, like 160 GB, 320 GB, 1 TB, 500 GB, 1 TB, 2 TB, like that. There are some fixed sizes. You'll not get hard drive whatever size you want. Okay, that is another issue. Okay, even if you purchase 1 TB or 500 GB hard disk, out of that you'll be using only 50 GB or 100 GB. Whatever the remaining 400 GB or 450 GB, that is a waste, right? If you are not using it, and you cannot share it with any other server, because hard drive will be, it is belong to a particular server. Only one server can access the utilize the hard drive, right? That is another reason. Flexibility like this, we have plenty of issues actually. Okay, which were there when we don't have a storage. Okay, now let's talk about a storage and how storage resolved all these issues. Okay, Shrikant, any questions here, or do you want me to repeat it one more time?
Sir.
Okay, now let's talk about a storage. Okay, about storage and how it will work. Storage. Normally, okay, storage is also a hardware. Okay, Storage is also a hardware storage array. Okay, people will call it as storage array. Okay, this contains some hardware in it, the storage. Okay, we'll talk about these things in detail in future classes. To the backend of our storage array, we need to connect some disk shelves. Okay, we'll be connecting some disk shelves. These are the disk shelves. Let's assume that I have installed. Okay, these will be connected to our storage array. These shells will be. Okay. Now, now I have installed two disk shelves. Okay, two disk shelves, and each disk shelf, let's assume that it contains 24 disks in every disk shelf. And what is the size of the shelf? Sorry, size of the disk in the disk shelves. Let's assume that it is a 1 TB drive that we installed in the disk shelf. That means 2 into 24, 48, 48 into 1, 48. So total 48 TB of space, I mean disk disk shelves and disk drives that I have installed in this storage area. Okay, so this disk shelves will be having multiple disks on top of them like this. Okay, I'll show you the diagram as well. Okay, I'll show you the diagram as well. Okay, this is a hard drive. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to I'm going to create a storage pool here. Okay, I'm going to create a pool by combining all these 48 drives in the two digitals. It's normally in our PCs or laptops also. What we are going to do, we have a we'll purchase a 1 TB or 2 TB hard drive, and we'll divide that hard drive into logical partitions, right? Like C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive. There we are dividing a single drive into multiple logical partitions. But when it comes to storage, it is a quite opposite way. Here, I'm using multiple hard disks and combining them into a single logical partition, single logical pool. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a pool. I'll show you all these things. Okay. Today, just we are discussing about the overview of the storage. So I'll combine all these 48 drives in these two disk shells, and I'll create a pool. So how much space I got? I got 48 TB of space on my pool. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect my storage to a medium. Okay, I'm going to connect my storage to a medium. This is my medium. Okay, same way here. Now I'll be having multiple servers. All these servers also will be connected to a medium. We'll talk about medium, what is medium and all little later. For now, just remember it as a medium. Okay. So with the help of this medium, my servers and my storage will be able to communicate with each other. Now, let's assume that this server name is S1. Okay. And this server name is S2. And this server name is S3. Okay. Now, S1 storage needs a 50 GB. That's fine. What I can do, I'll create a small logical partition here. Okay, I'll create a small 50 GB logical partition from the pool, and I will present that 50 GB to this server. Okay, through medium. So through medium, this server will be able to access that the logical partition that we provisioned from storage. Okay, and they'll use this 50 GB as a drive on the server, like C drive or D drive, like that. The same way. Now my second server needs a 200 GB. Then what I'm going to do? I'm going to create another logical partition with the 200 GB of size, and I'll present it to that particular server. Okay, and this will use it as a drive there. And again, my second server required another drive. Yeah, no problem. Either you can extend the existing drive, or if they want, you can give a new logical partition, new drive. Okay, so they asked me for 10 GB. Yeah, I can create a 10 GB drive and I can present it to them. What they'll do, they'll use it as another drive, like that. This is how the storage will work. Okay, now I'll talk about the things like how this mechanism resolve the issues which we observed earlier without storage. Okay, without storage. So what is the first issue actually? Just a second. So the first issue is, any question, Srikant or Krishna?
No, I'm good now.
Yeah, Srikant, any question, or do you want me to repeat it one more time? Hello, Srikant. Okay.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
Uh, are you able to understand, or do you want me to repeat it one more time?
No, no, sir. I am able to understand.
Okay. So the first issue is data loss during the disk failure, right?
Yes, sir.
So in storage, we have a concept called RAID. Okay, RAID. So whenever we are configuring this pool with individual hard disks, we are going to apply a mechanism called RAID. So with the help of this RAID, even if there is a drive failure also, still there will be no data loss. Okay, but as I told you, we'll talk about these RAIDs and all in detail in future classes. Okay, so one issue got resolved, right? So even if any of the hard disk got failed in my storage, there will be no data loss, so I don't need to worry about the disk failures. Now it is the second issue, limitation. There is no limitation, right? Because normally here we are not installing any hard drives. Okay, whatever the drives we are getting from storage, all of them are logical drives. So you can, if you want like a 50 drives, yeah, 50 logical partitions on a single server, no problem. Create 50 logical partitions on storage and provision provision them to the server without any issues. Okay, like that. You can assign n number of logical partitions to a server. Okay, so the limitation issue also got resolved. Data loss during the hard drive failure is resolved. Okay, the same way the limitation issue also resolved. Now the third thing is performance. So when it comes to performance, as I told you earlier, we are not installing any hard drives. Okay, we are installing logical partitions only. And addition to that, okay, whatever the cables we are using and whatever the ports on server or whatever the ports on storage and the components inside the medium, all of them are okay capable of handling high performance workloads. Okay, capable of handling high performance workloads. So you don't see any performance issues as well when you are using the disks from storage. They'll be able to perform high workloads without any issue. That is the reason the performance issue also got resolved. Next thing is flexibility. Flexibility is already we discussed about it. Like we don't need to create a logical partition with standard size. If I need only 5 GB, just create a logical partition with 5 GB from this pool and assign it to server, right? So flexibility issue also resolved like that. So with this storage, we have resolved whatever the issues we have earlier. Okay, that is the reason people started using the storage. Not only this, for example, normally if you install a hard drive on one server, it can be used only on top of that server. For example, if I want to share the same hard drive with another server, then what you need to do? You need to do a little different configuration called clustering and all. Then only they'll be able to access the same hard drive with each other. But when it comes to storage, what you can do, you can create a logical partition and you can share the same logical partition across multiple servers so that both of them will be able to access the same logical partition and share each other's data without any issues. Okay, like this, there are a lot of advantages with the help of storage. That is the reason people started using the storage arrays. Okay. Okay. Any questions, Srikant or Krishna? Hey, Zubair. Hey, hi.
Right.
Yeah, Zubair, can you please be on time? I tried to call you. I can't hold the class for you, right? That's why started. Anyway, I started recording as well. I'll share the recording. Please go through it. If you don't understand, then yeah,
Sure,
I'll
sir.
take a separate. I'll help you understanding it. Okay.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Now let's talk about the other things. So there are three types of storage concepts. First one is TAS. Second one is NAS. Third one is SAN. Okay. Let's talk about each of them. I'm not going to discuss about DAS because NetApp will not support this DAS technology. That's why. But DAS means direct attached storage. Okay, that is the full form of DAS. And I don't want to discuss it. So I don't want to waste time here because anyway NetApp will not support it. Okay, NetApp will support only NAS and SAN technologies. So let's talk about them. So what is NAS? NAS means network attached storage. Network attached storage. Okay, so we'll talk in detail about the like high level overview about the NAS now. Okay, NAS network attached storage. So same thing, if it is a NAS or SAN or whatever it is, we'll be having storage. Okay, we'll be having storage array, and to the back end of our storage, we'll be installing disk shells with the disks. Okay, generally I'm just taking two disk shelf example, but you can add as many shelves as you want, but there are some limitations based on the array model and all. We are going to talk about those things in later classes. Okay, so here again I have installed I'm assuming that I have installed two disk shelves. Okay, two disk shelves to the storage array, and again I'm taking the same example. So two disk shelves into every disk shelf has 24 drives. That is what I'm assuming. So 24, and all of them are 1 TB drives. So total 48 TB. Okay. So what I'm going to do, by combining all these disk shelves, and disks, I'm creating a pool. Okay, I'm creating a pool. So total pool size is 48 TB. Okay, now I have servers as well here. I have few servers here, 3 servers, let's assume that, and I have a medium here. So when it comes to NAS, the medium is LAN. LAN acts like a medium in network attached storage. LAN means local area, sorry, area network, means local area network. That means nothing but our normal IP network only. You can build local area network anywhere. For example, I have 3 laptops in my home. What I can do, I can connect those 3 laptops or 2 laptops with cables, and I can assign some IPs, and I can establish the communication between 2 laptops. Or what I can do, if I have more than 2 laptops, I can connect them to a switch, or I can connect them to a Wi-Fi router. Everyone these days having Wi-Fi router, right? So what I can do, I can connect my laptop to the router with a cable, and I'll assign some IP, so that with the help of the router, okay, router connection, my laptop will be able to communicate with other laptop. So I can copy the data from one laptop to another laptop by using this mechanism. Normally, whenever I buy a new laptop, I'll follow that only. I don't use pen drives and all. Okay, so that we can call it as a local area network. You can build local area network anywhere, even in your internet shops as well. They'll use the local area network only. Okay, they'll be having internet to only one system. Okay, this is the internet facing system, and they'll be having another systems as well, right? Another computers as well. So what they are going to do, they are going to maintain a switch. They'll connect everything to this switch. Okay, they'll connect everything to the switch. So through this switch only, all these systems will be able to communicate with each other, and internet will be accessible through this system via this switch to all the systems. This is how they'll connect everything generally. Okay, same thing here. Normally, this is a local area network which contains normal network switches, everything. And you don't need to worry about the local area network, because this will be not managed by us. This local area network will be managed by network team. Okay, and our servers, okay, and storages, whatever, everything, they'll be connected to this LAN, local area network. Okay, so with the help of this local area network only, they'll be able to communicate with each other. So the ports which we will use to connect our servers to LAN are NIC. Okay, we'll call them as NIC. NIC means nothing but network interface cards, and technically we can call them as RJ45 ports. Technically, we can call them as RJ45 port. So every server will be having this NIC port. Okay, it is a port actually. Okay, with the help of this port only, we will connect all our servers to one of the switch or hub in the local area network. Actually, we don't need to do that. We just need to provide the details, like connect this port to your LAN network. Network team will be able to do that. The same thing here. Even on our storage end also, we'll be having a port, NIC port. Okay, NIC or RJ45. This is a normal RJ45 port, technical name that is. So with the help of this port, our storage area also will be connected to local area network. And the cables, whatever we are using here, these are normal network cables. Technically, we'll call them as either Cat5 or Cat6 cables. Okay, Cat5 or Cat6. Same cables here as well. Okay, here also we'll use the same kind of cables, Cat5 or Cat6 cables to connect our storage array to local area network. Okay, and you know that, right? When we talk about the network, it is the IP. IP is the first thing which will hit our brains. So whenever you connect your mobile or your laptop to internet, your mobile or laptop will be assigned with the IP address, right? The same way, whenever you connect something to a local area network, okay, you need to assign a IP address to devices. With the help of IP address only, one device will be able to identify the other device, and they'll be able to communicate with each other. Okay, let's assume that all three got IPs. The same way, I have assigned an IP address to my storage as well. Okay, now how things will work in NAS. Okay, I have three servers connected to it. Then now my server one, let's assume that this is my server one. Okay, this is my server two, and this is my server three. Now server one requested for a 50 GB of space. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a small 50 GB logical partition here. Okay, and I'll do some configurations here. Like this 50 GB logical partition only should visible to this particular IP address, like that. I'll I'll do some configurations here. Okay, so that this logical partition will be visible to the server which is having that particular IP. So what it will do, whenever I did that, it will come to local area network and it will look for the IP address. Okay, now this server is assigned with that particular IP. So the logical partition will be visible to only that server. Remaining servers will be not able to access that logical partition. So we don't need to worry about our data security. Okay, the same thing. Now my second server asked for like 200 GB. I'm going to create a 200 GB logical partition, and here I'll configure it. Okay, the server with this IP only should get access to this. On storage, I'll do that configuration so that it will be visible to only this server. Okay, this is how it will work. So here, what is the medium here? LAN, local area network, is a medium here. Now we'll talk about protocol. What is protocol actually? Now I'm talking to you guys, right? So what is the medium between you and me? Internet. Through internet, we connected and we are talking to each other. Then what is the protocol here? Here the protocol is English. So English is the common language between you and me. Okay, you can understand English and I can understand English. You can talk English and I can talk English. So that is the common protocol between you guys and me. For example, if I talk to you in a different language which you don't understand, the efficient is, I mean, the communication is not efficient, right? Still the communication is there. You can hear me and I can hear you. Okay. Only problem is you'll be not able to understand me, right? So that is called protocol. Okay, this protocol will make the communication more efficient. So when it comes to NAS, okay, we have two protocols. One is CIFS and another is NFS. So CIFS is the protocol which we will use for Windows and Mac systems. Mac, you know, right? Apple operating system, Apple company operating system, Mac. And the other protocol NFS will be used for all other flavors. Okay, NFS protocol will be used for all other flavors like Linux, Unix, etc. I don't want to discuss all of them here, etc. Okay, for example, with the help of NAS technology, if you want to assign storage to a Windows system, then you need to use a protocol called CIFS. And whenever you want to assign storage to a server, a Linux or Unix server through NAS technology, then you have to use NFS protocol. This is a, whatever I am saying here today, this is just a high level overview Okay, we are going to discuss about each and everything whatever we discussed here very in detail, like how to create the pools, how to do the cabling as well. Okay, what is protocol in depth, what is CIFS protocol, what is NFS protocol, how we'll do the configuration that this logical partition should be visible to a particular IP, how we can do that configuration, everything we are going to discuss. How we can identify that disk shelves and disks connected to storage array from storage. Yeah, all these things we are going to discuss. Okay. Any questions, guys, on NAS?
No, Navin, from my end, I'm good.
Yeah. Srikant, Zubair, Sai.
That's fine, sir.
Oh, now let's talk about SAN. The full form of SAN is storage area network. So same thing here. Again, whatever it is, if it is a SAN or NAS, we'll be having storage area only. Okay, this is my storage array, and to the back end of my storage array, disk shells will be connected. Okay, and same thing here. Again, I'm taking the same example. 24 two disk shells, 24 disks in each disk shelf, and 1 TB hard drive. So total 48 TB. So again, I'm creating a pool here with 48 TB. So while creating pool itself, I'll apply the RAID protection and all. Okay, so no problem with the disk values and all. Again, I have servers as well here. Okay, let's assume that I have 3 or 4 servers here, and I have a again I have a medium here. But when it comes to SAN, we don't use local area network or normal IP network as a medium here. Okay, we have a dedicated medium called storage area network. Okay, medium. Okay, and technically we will call it as fabric. So normal LAN network will be managed by network team, right? And whatever the components we have inside the network, those all are network switches, network hubs and all. But when it comes to storage area network or fabric, we'll be having some components called SAN switches. Okay, SAN switches. We'll be having multiple SAN switches in a single storage area network. These SAN switches will be connected to each other and will be formed like a single dedicated network. So we will connect all our servers, okay, to the SAN network, the switches in the SAN network, and even our storage also to the switches in the SAN network. So with the help of this SAN network and the switches inside the SAN network only, my servers and storage will be able to communicate with each other. Okay, but this is not a IP network like LAN. Okay, this is a dedicated SAN network which will use the different mechanism and different protocols. So here, whatever the ports I'll use on my storage end, we will call them as HBAs, HBA ports. HBA means nothing but host bus adapter. Okay, with the help of this HBA port only, we can connect our server to this one of the switch in storage area network. We'll talk about switch as well. What is switch? Okay, switch is nothing but a kind of a plug box. Normally, if you have only one power socket in your home, what you'll do, you'll purchase a plug box and you'll connect that plug box to the power socket, so that You can connect your phone, your laptop, other devices to that plug box, and you can get the power, right? The same thing here. You can connect multiple devices to a switch. So with the help of switch only, the devices will be able to, whatever the devices connected to that switch will be able to communicate with each other. I'll show you the diagram as well. Okay, don't worry. Even if it is a SAN or NAS, network switch or SAN switch, the mechanism is same. I mean, the purpose is same for the switch. Okay. So whatever the ports I'm going to use on storage, those are FCAs. FCA. FCA means fiber channel adapter. FCA. So with the help of FCA, okay, my storage is connected to one of the switch or SAN network. Okay, and whatever the cables I'm going to use on server end and on storage end, these cables are not the network cables, these are fiber channel cables. Fiber channel cables. Okay, and normally in NAS, one device will be able to identify the other device with the help of IP address, right? But here, when it comes to SAN, there will be no IP addresses and all. Okay, every HPA or FCA will be having a unique address called unique address. Let's not discuss about it now. Okay, we'll be having a unique address. Okay, so whatever the address, unique address this HBA, this server HBA has, it will be not repeated in or it will be not assigned to any other HPA in the world. It is a unique address that belongs to only this HPA. Okay, with the help of that address only, we'll be able to identify each other. I mean, the devices will be able to identify each other. Okay, so when I assigned a, I mean, now my server one wants some 50 GB storage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a 50 GB logical partition here. And again, I'll do the configurations here on storage end. Okay, this 50 GB logical partition should be visible to the unique address of HPA where the HPA is installed. So I'll mention that address here, the unique address here. So it will travel to SAN network, and now it will search here. Okay, I have a unique address to which HBA or to which server's HBA that the unique address is assigned to. So it will identify, okay, this unique address of HBA belongs to this server. So with the help of that, it will assign the 50 GB logical partition here. So this 50 GB whatever logical partition will be only visible to this particular server, because we did a configuration, right? It should, this 50 GB should be visible to a particular address like that. Okay, this is how it will work. Okay, and what is the medium here? And storage area network or fabric, we can call it as a fabric as well. Fabric is the medium. What about the protocols here? In NAS, we have CIFS and NFS protocol, right? But when it comes to SAN, we have FCP, FCOE, and ISCSI. These are the three protocols available in SAN. But when it comes to NAS, we have a separate protocol for Windows, we have a separate protocol for NFS, right? But here, nothing like that. All three protocols will work with all the operating system. You can assign storage to all servers, all operating system servers with FCP, and the same thing with the FCOE also you can assign it to all the operating system servers. With ISCSI also you can assign storage to all operating system servers. Okay, all operating system servers. Okay, any questions, guys? Srikant, Zubair, Sai. I know Krishna because he is already working on SAN, so You know all these things. Guys, can you please respond? If you don't understand, ask me again. No problem.
Yes, sir. What are servers actually named as?
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Server means nothing but, sir. You missed it right initially.
No, no. Thing is actually what are now. I understand about servers and the connectivity of this storage array and all
Mhm.
those things. Now, as you called actually, like you particularly you have particular mediums and names as such. Actually, you call the servers as host here, or how is it actually?
Exactly. Server means nothing but
Host. Okay.
host. Host.
Oh,
Who is taking the space from storage?
okay. So we always talk in technical terms for server as host actually.
Yeah, yeah. Server as a host.
Okay. And the
This is
end
a
user.
client actually. You can say it as a client.
Okay. Okay. Sir.
Storage as a provider. You can say that.
Okay. Sir. Okay. Okay. Done.
Anything else? Any questions? No. Now let's talk about HBA or FCA. How it will work. How they'll work. Okay. Host bus adapter or fiber channel adapter. So normally in HBS or FCA, HBS normally in HBS there are three types actually. One is single port HBS, dual port HBA, four port HBA. Okay, we have three types of HBS. So here I'm going to take a HBA example here. I'm taking a two port HBA example. I just want to show you how HBS will work. Okay, and when you compare the SAN with the NAS, SAN is more secure. We are going to talk about that little later. Just want to finish the HBA thing. So here, let's assume that this is my HBA. Okay, HBA. So in each and every, now this is a two port HBA. Okay, this is a one port. This is a port one. Okay, and this is my port. So this is a dual port HBA. So in each and every HBA port, again there are two components. There will be two components. Two components. One is transmitter, receiver, receiver. Okay, the same thing here as well on port 2 as well. One is a transmitter, another is a receiver. So you know that, right? Normally in computer or in server, whatever it is, in which format the data will be? The data will be in binary format, right? Binary format. That means 1001110 something. The data will be like this in any computer or server, whatever it is. Okay. So whenever my data is traveling outside the computer, okay, I told you, right? This is my server, and the server is connected to a medium, and this is my storage. My storage is also connected to medium. Now I got a logical partition from server. Okay, whenever I am copying the data to this logical partition, normally the logical partition will be visible here, but actually the space and everything will be saved here only, right? So whenever you are copying something to this logical partition, it has to travel over the medium, the cables and everything, and the data will be stored in here, right? So whenever I am saving something, whenever I'm writing some data to a logical partition which came from storage, it has to travel all the way to storage, right? So it has to go through the HBA first. It has to um, go through HBA first and enter into the medium, and after that it will reach the fiber channel adapter, and finally it will enter into the storage, and it will be saved there. So whenever it is crossing the HBA, what HBA will do? HBA has two mechanisms, right? On each and every port, two parts. One is the transmitter and receiver. So what transmitter will do? Transmitter will encrypt the data. Okay, transmitter will encrypt the data. As I told you early, normally in my server or host or whatever it is computer, my data is in binary format, which is a readable format. So what my transmitter will do? Transmitter will convert the data which is in readable format to non-readable format. Okay, that is what we'll call it as an encryption. Encryption means nothing but just changing the data format and making it non-readable, so that nobody in the middle will be, I mean, they don't have chance to read the data. Okay, so my transmitter will encrypt the data. How, in which format it will encrypt to? It will encrypt it as a light signal. Okay, it will convert the data format from binary to light signal. So over the medium and SAN network, my data will travel as a light, and the other end it will reach the FCA. On a storage end, it will reach the FCA. Whenever it reaches the FCA end, on FCA also will be having the same mechanism. Ports will be there, and port on top of ports will be having transmitter and receiver. So there, receiver will receive the data. Okay, receiver will receive the data, and it will decrypt the data. Decrypt the data. That means again it is converting the data from light signal to binary format. Binary format, and it will save the data in the storage, hard drives or whatever it is. Okay, this is how the HBA or FCA mechanism will work. So this is the reason SAN is more secure when you compare it with NAS. We'll talk about these things after discussing about HBA. Any questions, guys? Is it clear, or do you want me to repeat it one more time? Okay, these HBS, what the HBS are nothing but ports, right? HBS and FCS ports we are using in the SAN to connect our servers and storage to the SAN network. So these ports even adding additional layer of security to our SAN network. Hello.
Yeah, Naveen, yeah.
Yeah, any questions?
No, Naveen, yeah, I can understand. Reminding.
Yeah, Zubair or Srikant or Sai, if you don't understand, just ask me to repeat it one more time. No problem for me.
So this is with only respect to HBA ports, right?
Yeah, HB and FCA, sir. The same
FCA.
mechanism. They'll work with the same
Yeah.
mechanism.
This is
And
HBA only connected to the server part, and the FCA is connected to the storage part.
storage part, yeah.
Ports
Storage,
are
our
both.
storage arrays will be connected to SAN
Yeah.
network with fiber channel adapter ports, FCAs, and
Okay.
servers will be connected to our SAN network with the help of HPA ports.
Ports. This is only with respect to the transmitter, and receiver is only with respect to the HBA ports you are talking on about.
Yeah, HPA or FCA, the same
Okay.
mechanism in FCA as well.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. Okay.
In NAS, we don't have any this kind of mechanism.
Okay.
So
Okay.
those are just normal plain network
IP.
ports. Yeah, in your laptop also you'll be able to see a port where you can connect the network cable, right? The same kind of port will be available in the storage and server as well. So with the help of those ports only, we'll connect them to local area network. But when it comes to HPA SAN, HPA and FCR, the different ports actually. And these are very costly ports actually. It will be like if you want to purchase a HPA, it will be based on the how many port it has. It will be in lakhs actually, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, or 4 lakh, something like that. The cost will be. I don't know now, but I have purchased. I have involved in some purchases in my like very long back. Yeah. Okay, Srikanth, is it clear? Okay. Now let's talk about the differences. I don't want to talk about the differences, but when it comes to NAS, okay, sorry, when it comes to comparing these two technologies, NAS is less secure, okay, compared to SAN. Why? Because when it comes to NAS, we are using a local area network, LAN, where IP address and all are involved. So somewhere this IP address or LAN network, they might be connected to internet, right? So because of that, yeah, obviously we'll take precautions and all, but yeah, because of that, there are some chances of having some attacks. Like for example, in 2018, we ransomware attack. These kind of things might happen, and this might impact the data that you guys have stored in the NAS storages, the storage which presented through NAS. But when it comes to SAN, SAN is more secure because SAN will be not involved with any IPs and all, right? SAN is a dedicated network. SAN is a dedicated network which has no connectivity to internet. Okay, no connectivity to internet, and the HPAs and the FCAs, the working mechanism of them also, they'll add additional layer of security to a SAN network. Okay, not only that, when you compare NAS with SAN, SAN will give you a better performance. Okay, SAN will give you a good performance compared to, sorry, why? Because again, as I told you, NAS is using a local area network, right? Local area network means again IP network. So if you if the number of devices increases which are connected to LAN network, it has they have to share the bandwidth, right? For example, in your home as well, you have a Wi-Fi. Only two people connected to the Wi-Fi, so you'll get a very good internet speed. Let's assume that 10 people connected to the same Wi-Fi. It has to share the same bandwidth across all 10 devices, right? 10%. So it will decrease your internet speed, right? Same thing here. So when it comes to NAS, if you, I mean, based on the number of devices connected to a LAN, okay, you might notice a little performance issues, okay, if you don't configure it properly. But when it comes to SAN, even if you connect one device or 10 device, every device has its own bandwidth when it comes to SAN. So it will not impact as much as NAS is impacted. Okay, so that is the reason. Another reason where SAN will give you very good performance when compared to NAS. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Today we'll stop it for now. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll start the actual session. Today, just introduction overview session of what is NAS, what is SAN, what is HPA, what is FCA, how it was earlier where there is no storage, how things have changed and how it resolved the issues with the storage introduction. Yeah, all these things I just want to give an overview. Just ask questions if you have any, or else I'll stop the session for today and tomorrow we can continue. No questions?
Yes, no,
So regarding this recording.